Bagan is, well, a former capital of Myanmar. It's been a while though. It was the capital, if I'm correct, from 9th century to the 13th. So it's been a while. But this place has a remarkable history and long. There's a lot of temples here, a lot of religious temples, stupas and pagodas. They have, I don't have the exact number, it's about 4,400 pagodas they have here in Bagan. And it's just, when you look over the area which has all these pagodas, it's just like mind-blowing how many of these religious buildings they seem to have needed. We are now in one of them, one of the bigger ones, one of the nicer ones. It was completely renovated in 2017 with the help from Indian government because it has some Indian influences, and it looks absolutely beautiful. But the thing is, with historical facts about this area here, I'm struggling a little bit because first and foremost this is so long, so much happened, and the time period is so enormous that I'm gonna get a little help. Okay, so I got help because, like I said, the history here is so long. There's so much happened that my little brain just can't comprehend it. So, first question is, when did civilization start in this area here?
Well, basically, people generally believe that Bagan was started in 2nd century AD, in the year 108 AD, but the historians may not agree completely because they will go for the concrete evidence.
Yeah.
So they say it was all started with King Anoyaka in 1044 AD and lasted until 1287, until the Mongolian came and conquered this land.
Okay. So because the Myanmar social structure is quite complicated. So, what tribe, which people lived here?
Well, in the beginning, we believe that there were two major groups in this country. The first people in central Myanmar is definitely the Pew people. But nowadays we cannot identify who are the Pew people because they look pretty much similar to the present-day people who were also the Tibeto-Burmans.
Okay.
And the second group is the Mon people. They belong to the Mon Khmer language group. They live in the farther south, close to the Gulf of Madibam, that is southeast Yangon. Okay. In a land called Suvarnabhumi, that means the golden land.
Okay. But these people here now considered Burmese.
The people in central Myanmar right now, they consider they are the typical Burmese.
Typical Burmese.
Yes.
Okay. You have like 4,400 pagodas here. Why so many?
Well, Burmese in those days, they were originated in the cult of the spirits. They worship, basically big mountains, big trees. They sacrifice animals in the annual animal spirit feast. But then they received the first proper religion, and that they believe this is something important to their life.
So that would be the Buddhism.
Yeah, that means the Theravada Buddhism through the monk sent from the Mon people, and they said, "Oh, it's a brilliant idea," and the king himself, he encourages people to convert to Buddhism, build, spread the Buddhism, and also they may have a general idea that if you build a Buddhist monuments like temple, stupa, whatever, building a monastery, that will help them to reach to the higher existence in the next life.
Okay, yeah. So you pay to play, basically. Yeah.
Yes.
And the thing is, because I heard you told me actually that the Burmese, they were, well, fierce warriors and quite savage.
They were.
Yeah.
You know, they were, you know, more or less like savage, the barbarians of the East.
Yeah.
In those days, back in the 8th century, then the rival, the Nanchang Emperor in the southwest China, they grew to, you know, be very powerful. So they had to leave somehow, and they made a decision to settle in central Myanmar, in the eastern bank of Yellow River, that they can have broader resources and well protected by, you know, hills on each side and the west side. Yeah, and also it's still reachable to some rice growing areas.
Yeah.
So they established.
Okay, so Buddhism calmed them down a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Buddhism changed the entire, you know, the view of their life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they basically from fierce warriors to pious Buddhists.
Yeah.
And they learned. They have then received the more civilized manner from the Mon people. They learn how to grow rice. They then have their own language developed from several different scripts like Southern Burman script, the Mon language, and even a few from Pali Sanskrit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but with that peace at heart came great loss of land and.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, from that point of view, nothing permanent in Buddhism.
No.
So everything can be price.
Yeah. Yeah. It's another beautiful day here in Bagan, but I guess every day here in Myanmar is beautiful. Well, almost. At least when it's not the rainy season. We are here late in the year, always. I do my tours late in the year. Because of climate, Myanmar is a very hot place. It's very warm here, but it's quite nice this time of year, beginning December. But still in Bagan, we are, well, it is a religious area. There's a lot of pagodas, there's a lot of monks, like I mentioned earlier. So that would be, you know, a big chunk of what we do here in Bagan. Shooting monks, and you know, it is exciting, especially in this setting we had this morning. Really cool, and I sometimes feel a little guilty when I'm shooting those monks because they did not ask for this attention, and. I think I can see sometimes they're very curious and you know they don't mind. Most of the time they don't mind, but sometimes I see, you know, like, fuck you tourist, just go away, disappear, leave us alone. Yeah, you know, what can I say? This is part of doing street photography. Sometimes you have subjects that wouldn't have been your subject if you bothered to ask. And but here's the thing, you know, you have some ethics. Everybody has some ethics. There is no like a set of rules in street photography that what you can and cannot do. You know, people just have to rely on common sense, which sadly isn't that common. This common sense business, and I see sometimes people, groups of photographers, very intrusive, very rude, very disrespectful. And I try not to be that guy. And I emphasize with my participants in my workshops not to be that. Be respectful. Approach with caution. Don't get in people's faces. And for the most part, I will say this, that especially here in Southeast Asia, these people just don't mind, for the most part. Then we have the arranged shoot, which we sometimes do. We hire people to pose, and you know, some people consider that, you know, less important travel photography, but you know, we are here. I'm here to teach people how to get amazing photos, and part of this is doing candidates and street photography. Here's a bus. Go away, bus. There we go. And another part of it is to set up a shoot, because that is not, well, that requires some skill also. You have something in mind, set it up and execute it and get the desired result, you know. So we do that. It's a workshop. So we are here to learn as well as get amazing photos. But the arranged shots with the monks, like I said earlier, a lot of people, a lot of photographers can be quite rude and obnoxious, and there was a particular problem with people from one country. I will not name it.
你拍我给你摔掉，我给你摔掉，滚蛋！你这，
管他呀，你管他来呀，不搭理他完了。
不要脸的东西，他妈了个逼！
But because they were asking the monks to do stupid things, the novice monks. They were asking them to do some things that monks do not do. And the senior monks, they weren't really happy with that, so they basically banned it for the most part. So, but we can sometimes arrange shots with novice monks, sometimes not. We have pretty good. My guy here is he can make shit happen. You know, let's just call it that. But it really doesn't matter how you choose to do your photography in the end, as long as you realize that you're a guest and you should behave like a guest. Be polite, be respectful, and especially regarding religion. You know, I'm not the religious type. I'm not religious, and from where I'm from, Iceland, I'm the first one to speak out, because we don't have a separation between church and state. I'm the first one to talk about that, and also like when they have like religious events in school, I'm against it. But here's the thing, that's my home, so that's my business. Here, it's not. It's not my business how people here do things. I'm here because I'm curious about the country, and a big part of that is the religion. So you cannot come here and you can have an opinion, but just keep it to yourself. You're a guest. Behave accordingly. But monks and pagodas were not, by far, not the only thing we did here in Bagan. We shot a lot of other amazing random stuff, and I'm gonna show you bits and pieces, little clips I have from Bagan and photographs I shot. Hope you enjoy it. And I hope you enjoyed this video also. And goodbye.
Makes me feel lost. But one day we were soon to stop like a moon. Grotesque can warp like a face on a spoon. I'd come ashore, watching the city, mapping in front of me. Gonna roam and wander, disguised as a tramp, quietly advancing around the camp, pushed by a demon that breathes down my neck and whispers to me, you need. And when you still remember the name of this guy that needs you, out to the mines on the raging sea. But it's not the reckless punch of a stone that kills me. It's the deafening silence that follows and makes me feel lost. No, it's not the reckless punch of the stones that kills me.